Hey there, buds. Toxic masculinity is just a humiliation ritual meant to keep men obedient and submissive to other men. That's the whole point of it. Like, if you think about what it's like to be a man, it's basically like you're standing in a herd of men. All of them are given cattle prods, and they're all told that if anybody moves out of alignment with the herd, get that guy. Get him back in line. Because this idea that men have been taught and conditioned to believe is that a rejection of toxicity is the same as a rejection of masculinity. And it's fundamentally untrue, because my masculinity is never under attack on the internet until I start talking about this stuff over here. As soon as I start talking about the toxic bits, every man who believes passionately that men are under attack is suddenly saying the worst shit you've ever heard in my comment section to me and about me. My masculinity is only ever under attack by other men, because toxic masculinity is a humiliation ritual meant to keep men obedient and submissive. Because men need to be obedient and submissive, good little foot soldiers to die on the front lines of the patriarchy, to bear the consequences of another man's war that doesn't give a shit about them. Because if you want to think about it like that old idiom, like old men go to war and young men die, that's basically how patriarchy functions. It's not like this equal opportunity ladder that all men are meant to ascend. It's absolutely not that. It's meant to make most men expendable cannon fodder on the front lines, to stuff them in the foxholes, to bear the responsibility and the consequences of the actions of other men. That's like the root of this whole loneliness epidemic thing. It's like all these men are rejected, lonely, isolated, because they volunteered for an unjust war. And as soon as people said no to the toxicity and they started bearing the consequences of that, all those dudes that sent them on their way up safe in their ivory tower of power, wealth, and influence are shouting down at them, "See, I told you they hate you." Like, to borrow from their language, this is the matrix you got to break out of, brother. You want to ascend? Become a deserter. Flee the front lines. There's no nobility there to die in the dirt of a war of a bunch of dudes who couldn't care less about you, who will never share an ounce of their influence, wealth, or fame or power. They don't care about you. In fact, they need you to throw yourself down in the dirt and die on their behalf so that they continue to build their palace walls higher and higher. A rejection of toxicity is not the same as a rejection of masculinity. And the sooner you learn the difference between the two, everything that you're complaining about in your life as a man will slowly start to resolve.